Hey guys. So today I've got a little bit of a serious topic for us to go over, and I do want to start this by saying there's a little bit of a trigger warning for this one because we are going to talk about suicide. It's a really important topic and we can't ignore it. But also this has come to light and I feel there's some stuff that I really need to share and discuss with you guys, in particular because a very famous dancer and DJ recently committed suicide. So there's a lot of talk online and there's a few misconceptions and things that I want to debunk, but also help you guys with navigating this. Because the thing is, while it's an absolute travesty what's happened, we forget that this is something that people face every single day. This is something that everyday families face every single day. And while it's a travesty whenever it happens anywhere, I don't want anyone to feel dismissed by the fact that maybe they aren't a celebrity and so therefore they don't get that acknowledgement. Everyone matters. Everyone's important. And so I want to do a reminder that the majority of suicides are men. This is a fact, and it's something that we need to really look at changing how we manage it. Because something that concerns me with stuff that I see online is when a travesty like a celebrity commits suicide, everyone talks about it for a few days or a week or whatever, and then they carry on with their lives, forgetting that this is a really important piece of mental health, of trauma, of wellness care that we really need to keep the conversations going all of the time, not just when something happens and we see it online or in the media. We need to keep these conversations going because this happens behind closed doors every single week, and not just around Australia, but around the world. Now, there's a few things that I see that I believe are very troublesome when it comes to suicide care and prevention. And first of all, you see everyone saying, please reach out if you're not doing okay. I want to remind you all that that's a bunch of crap. And I mean that with love when I say that, but I mean that with passion and dedication, because when someone is at their absolute lowest, when someone is really going through a really hard time and they're having suicidal thoughts, they do not have capacity to reach out and say that they are not doing okay. So the problem with waiting for someone to tell you that they are not doing okay is not going to help anyone. Very rare do people reach out and go, I'm not doing okay, I need to talk to someone, when they're really at those deep suicidal elements. They don't have anything left in the tank. And this is why I say all the time, and I share all the time, how are you doing? Check in on people. I'm always talking about check in, because I know from my own personal experiences and from those in my personal world that when you're at rock bottom moments, when you're really going through something, whether you intend to go through with suicide or not, when you are going through depression, anxiety, you are really at your lowest of the absolute low, you have nothing left in the tank to tell anyone how shit you're going. And the thing is, people talk about how, people fake depression. You can't fake depression. You fake being okay. There's the masks and the facades that everyone's doing okay, and I call bullshit on that. And I say this with such love and compassion because if you are relying on those in your life that you care about to tell you that they're not okay, you're going to miss something. And that's not to make you feel bad. This is just the reality, because there's so much touting, reach out. When you've got nothing in the tank, you've got nothing to reach out with. So what can you do about this? You can keep the lines of communication open with those you love, care for, and value in your life. Those that are really close to me know that I will check in with them. And it's not a, how you going? but it's how are you doing really? I do this with my clients. I do this with my loved ones. I do this with my friends. Like, I do it with those in my life on a regular basis. Don't just wait for things like, are you okay day? Or for when you see something like this online that hits home and goes, oh, I really appreciated that person's art or that person's skills, and now they're no longer here. It sparks something in people and then people forget. I don't want you guys to forget, because this is something that's ongoing and we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. So please remember to check up on your people, to notice if there are little changes in them, to notice if maybe they're not doing okay, their energy is a bit different, they feel a bit funny. I would much rather say to someone, I've noticed you're a little bit off, and have that sort of conversation than to let something go and realize they really needed someone to talk to. Everyone needs someone to talk to. It doesn't matter who they are. So that's a myth that I want to debunk straight away. People generally do not have the capacity to reach out when they've already hit a rock bottom. I also want to take it a little bit further when it comes to those who have already decided to take their life. When people have reached that point, you cannot help them. And I know that sounds maybe harsh or brutal, but it's very true. When people have already reached that point, that threshold, you can't bring them back, and there's nothing that you can do to do so. Because oftentimes when people commit suicide, I hear how selfish they were and how terrible they were for doing that because of who they've left behind. But here's the thing. When people hit that threshold, guys, they don't think like that. They don't think rationally. They genuinely believe that those in their life feel better off without them. That in actual fact, they are a burden and they're making their life worse. So they actually fully believe that they feel they're doing those that they care about the most in life a favor. And I really want to point that out there. So you're allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to feel hurt. You're allowed to feel any emotion that comes up in relation to this, because it is such a massive topic. But please note, it is not selfish at all. It's not. And their headspace is not in the same headspace that, say, you and I might be in, because maybe we're still looking things objectively. So if people have genuinely reached that point where they are going to commit suicide, please note there may be nothing you could have done to support them. It is not on you. It is not your fault. It is also not your responsibility. So please take that to heart. I know this is such a massive topic and there's only so much that I can do in a short few minutes. And I know that this can be a very deep and impactful conversation, but I really want to hear from you guys, because this is a conversation that needs to be kept going, okay? I want to hear from you guys. Please message or comment in what else do you want or need to know about this topic, so that you can support yourself, you can support the people in your life, and have a greater understanding of maybe what to do or not do moving forward, so that we can keep things like this going forward, because we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And it starts here. It starts within us, how we think, how we show up, how we interact, how we communicate. And we can do so much to help one another piece by piece. If this has triggered you, I hope that you can take some silver linings from this, knowing that that's okay and you get to have support in this as well. So I know today's a bit of a heavy one, but it's an important one. So please reach out if you need to chat, whether it's to myself or to anybody else. Please make sure you keep those lines of communication open. And I want to hear from you. Let me know what else you need to learn about this topic so you can help yourself and those in your life move forward. And I'll chat with you all again soon.